as we do kick off into that MarineLorD Fear series. This is the one we wanted to try and catch a little bit of. So, first of all, again, Brotail, thank you so much for that Twitch Prime. Get some love in the chat for that, guys. Trying to push the sub count back up a little bit. We had a rough day. Dropped down quite heavily. And let's introduce some players, shall we? To the top right-hand side, our red Terran player. This is MarineLorD. Up against the blue Protoss in the top left-hand side of the map from Team Revolution, we have got Fear. Game one of this best of three. As we kick this off and look to see what is going to be happening on Stasis. I mean, MarineLorD keeps letting this Stasis map come through his videos. I mean, I think as a Terran you kind of like it though, because the tank pushes and, you know, aggressive attacks in this map, especially coming up this, like, you know, this sort of direction, those can actually work out really well. So they can work out really well, and they can really get a lot done. You know, you come through the top side, and all of a sudden you're already sieging up on top of the natural, etc. So it puts you in some pretty good spots to work from. As we do see, the probe is hanging out over to the right. And, well, the rack's just about to finish up behind the mineral line here as well. Reaper gets started up. And we are going to be seeing the, again, the orbital just coming up in the main base. And the Reaper, the Rax is just a little bit hidden away, but in the end, the probe never scouted for that. The probe is actually looking to build a proxy gateway, so double proxy gate here. Oh no, actually maybe it's not. Maybe it is actually just for a Stargate or something, because the Cyber Core is about to finish, so maybe it is just going to be a Stargate here. And my own little timing is a little bit incorrect. So, there it is. Stargate drops down. Quick proxy from Fear to try and get ahead early. As we do see the Reaper coming all the way over the left-hand side. Going to be hopping up and down and up again. So Reaper having a pretty good time. So just watching the Reaper is just like up and down and up and down and rah rah rah. Ay ay ay. Alright, meanwhile we do see the SCVs here continuing to mine away. As we do see that Reaper, the Adept, is going to try and chase around. Reaper is going to come around the top side and is going to be able to pop a grenade down. Oh, nice little second shot there as well. So a lot of Adept shots do well. The Oracle cancels, interestingly enough. And rebuilds. Started the fleet beacon. Okay. So the plan here, I mean, it's kind of a weird place to have the Stargate, though, if you want to play, like, Fleet Beacon and Tempests. Because if you want to play the Tempest, they're very good in this sort of area here. But for them to get there from this Stargate, you have to kind of, like, fly over here. So it's a bit weird. He is going to pile on up here, though, so I guess the intention is maybe not to hit the natural, but instead to hit the main base. So maybe that is his plan. With this pylon here, of course, you can shield battery this area. Two Adept shading up here already. MarineLorD can't raise the depots. Oh, he can. The Cyclone was on top of the bottom one, so I thought it was maybe not going to work out, but it did just about work out. Now, I love this, though. He gets Magfield accelerated. Now, against a Tempest play, Magfield actually rips Tempest apart. It's actually a bit crazy. Unless he will stay locked onto this Adept, and he'll get rid of one of those already as well. So, I actually learned this when I played against Fear Dragon in the Casters Invitational, and he cannon rushed me into, like, proxy Tempest. And honestly, I just opened, I just thought it'd be fun to open, with a little bit of, like, a Magfield accelerator. And all of a sudden, Tempest flew in my base. I was like, oh shit, I am not prepared for this at all. And then my Cyclones locked onto the Tempest and it died. And I was like, what? It just got deleted. So Magfield is definitely a huge upgrade to have in this situation. Continue to build Cyclones, and now a Viking added on as well. It'll be great. I mean, he starts on the tech lab of the factory, and I think that's definitely one of the better things to maybe target here. This build from Fear will get a buff in the next patch, by the way, with the increased build time of the Magfield Accelerator. And that still is taking a good few shots. We'll have to be cautious about it. SCVs will pull forwards just to repair up a little bit. There's the lock on. Does he have a scan? I mean, obviously it doesn't matter just yet because the shield batteries, but I mean, the more shield battery energy you drain, the more real damage you're going to get done a little bit later on as well. SCVs will pull in and repair that Cyclone. And I like the idea of the orbital going to the low ground because I truly do believe, I mean, that, you know, if the Tempests are here, how are you ever going to harass this natural expansion? It's not going to be easily done, put it that way. And you can see the Macfield there and the difference it makes. A couple of Cyclones were locked on just for a moment, but already getting a lot done. Next Cyclone starts up, the Rax loses its reactor. And now we'll take some more shots. We'll probably have to relocate the factory sooner rather than later. Man, the Tempest getting that vision from the Oracle, though the Revelation great as well, means they can obviously stay at max distance and continue to just deal damage. Again, from MarineLorD, though, the most important thing I think is just to stay calm and to just wait out. There's the lock-ons again. Split across a couple of the Tempests. That Tempest is going down, man. Oh my god. I'm telling you, Cyclones with Macfield are actually ridiculous against Tempest. It's so good. I'm going to be seeing the Tempest continue to fire away, and, well, Fear is, I feel like already losing a Tempest is really bad for him, and the Cyclones are coming around the other side. I think he wants to maybe try and fight the buildings on the low ground. Either way, I think he knows that if he can get on towards the Tempest over here, it's going to go very well for him, even though he loses one Cyclone. Has to be careful with how they kite away. Natural expansion from Fear coming up on the gold base, so trying to expand here in the background, locking on towards those Tempests again. You will out damage any shield battery, no problem at all. And he's just going to sit here. I mean, locks on again. That's going to be... Oh, he actually locks on to one of the to the Oracle there. Which is a bit of a shame. Now he won't quite... Okay, the other Cyclone comes in and gets a few shots off. Yeah, I mean, you're getting rid of the shield batteries. I feel like, yes, okay, it feels expensive. You're losing a fair amount, right? But eventually you're getting rid of the Tempest, right? And these are not cheap units, so they're not going to be saved. And that's GG. MarineLorD with a pretty sick hold in the end then. And kind of just felt like he knew what he was doing. Page I've got Fear is going to be kicking this off and trying to see if Fear can get back into the series. But at the bottom right, we have the blue Terran player. This is MarineLorD, up 1-0 in the best of 3. Up against the red Brawlers. And the top left-hand side from Team Revolution, Fear. Refinery drops down in the main base of MarineLorD, so gets that started up. A second Rex down on the low ground. I'm just going to be seeing a couple of gases coming up. So, Fear top left. And the bottom right is MarineLorD. Obviously, Fear opening with that kind of proxy, let's play super aggro style in game number 1. We'll see what follows up in game number 2 now. See what the choices or the ideas might be. Always interested, I feel, to kind of see what happens. After you kind of open so aggressively in the first game, then game number 2, you're like, okay, well, let's just expand and, you know, get going. I wasn't just seeing what the macro kind of looks like. As I don't disagree with Fear with going with what he went for. I feel like MarineLorD had a very good scout, very good information. The choice to go Macfield Accelerator right away was a huge, huge help to him. I mean, you saw how good those Cyclones were. As we are going to be seeing the probe heading down to the lower right side, trying to see what exactly is happening. Obviously, the Reaper now will come up itself. Will be able to move in towards the main base in the next few moments and try and scout around. Might not want to go into the main base just yet. Might save itself for a little later when there actually is going to be information to be gained. Obviously, right now, there is no tech choice made from Fear, so Reaper doesn't actually have too much to pick up on. He is heading back home and will actually perhaps intercept this probe. And that probe looks like it will go down. That grenade was a bit misplaced, wasn't it? Probe goes down, the Adept comes in, gets a shot off, but I think the Reaper wants to go across the map anyways. Without the low ground command center here, MarineLorD will just be able to start up a couple of Marines, so this should actually be pretty fine right here. I mean, he's got a couple of Marines on the way up. Again, no real rush to take the low ground either. His factory moves off a tech lab to start up a tech lab of its own, so he's in no rush to get a Cyclone either. He really just wants the starport on the tech lab nice and quickly. Probably Cloak Banshees, I would say. He does have the money to exactly go into a Raven though, and a Raven opening is always been fairly successful in TvP as well lately. The ways you can use it are pretty nice as that Reaper hops in, sees the Twilight Council, research and blink, so good info on the Reaper. Not the Raven though, is the Banshee, and it gets that started. So we see the blink chrono boosting out as we see the Adept going to run all the way up to the upper right-hand side. Going to be just checking for any sort of further proxies from MarineLorD, see if the starport or anything was proxied. Because again, in terms of what Fear knows at the moment, well, it's not that much. He's seen the expansion, sure, but he never saw any other structures in the main base. So as Marines continue to gather, this Adept coming out over to the right-hand side. And we are going to be seeing the scouting continuing for Fear. To the left, a Stalker from Fear. Up the left-hand side is looking just around again, just really being cautious of any potential proxy play right now. Now what MarineLorD's setup will allow him to do, it will allow him to push rather aggressively with a bunch of Marines and tanks. The Banshees will hopefully deal some damage and maybe pull some units out of location to begin with as well. So setting up towards this here. As you see the Banshee showing up already, getting a couple of kills. Cloak not done just yet. The row facility, I tell you what, is just now finishing, so there isn't actually detection for a little while. Obviously, MarineLorD knows this as well. He's on top of the robo, so he actually sees it finishing. And he will continue to chase those probes down. Nice target fire of that probe. Ooh, nope, nope, nope. Trying to not target the Stalkers. I mean, the Stalkers were on top of that those probes there for a moment, so I would have done the exact same. Moving away from the natural means that he moves away from the robo facility, which is producing the Observer. So the Observer then has to try and play catch-up. It lengthens the amount of time in which there's no real response to the Cloak Banshee, which obviously hurts quite a bit. So Banshee coming all the way around through the top, as we see another Banshee of MarineLorD heading all the way over to the left side. So Banshee on the left will, well, probably go adventuring into the natural maybe soon. MarineLorD with Marines and tanks is not pushing forwards or anything just yet. Another Banshee on the way. I mean, it still feels like a very aggressive setup. And the Banshee pulling down the left, and an Observer from Fear going to move through the middle of the map as well. Charge starting up right now in the main base. Extra gateways on the way out. So there's quite a lot of gates coming in here from Fear at the moment. Again, those few Marines, tanks, Banshees starting to move through the middle. And this is the push we were sort of discussing. Again, when you still produce Marines, tanks, and more than 2 Banshees, it really feels like you're always headed towards something aggressive like this. Now, the real SCVs here, we've seen recently that, oh my god, the Observer goes down, and he just made an Immortal, but now he won't be able to start another Immortal. Oh my god, the Robo Facility is actually on this pylon here. He could target that pylon. He's more interested in just bunkering up already. I mean, he's going to kill the 2 gateways. And if he killed the Robo, there is an Observer still available out in the center of the map. Oh my god, he might still get the pylon here. Oh, did an Observer come out? It did. Oh my god, where is it? Oh, it moved towards the army already. I really couldn't see it for the life of me. Tanks probably want to try and target fire some of the Stalkers rather than the Zealots that are charging in. I mean, obviously Fear trying to fight in before the bunker completes, but the bunker will complete. With the Stalkers down, the Banshees will continue to clean up the bunker there as well. And MarineLorD just looks a little bit too good